Hi, my name is Kate Hudson Hall. I am an author, therapist, and podcaster. My new book has been released called Anxiety Hacks, with proven techniques, tools, and tips to calmness. So if you suffer from generalized anxiety, panic attacks, or feel abnormally anxious about certain things, within Anxiety Hacks, I show you how you can overcome these conditions, successfully enjoy a healthy and carefree life. My website is katehudson-hall.com. Anxiety Hacks is available now on Amazon.
Hey there, this is indie artist Shanbray Price, and I rock with Queen Silvy on the Queen Silvy Show. Bye, y'all.
Welcome to the Queen Silvy Show. Tune in at 11, good laugh, good vibe, that's for sure. Get smooth with Tim, get smooth with Tim. They have you running like you popped the pill. Once you hear the show, you ain't gonna want it to end. Get creative with the sounds you can make with your mouth. Reaching all over the world, Queen Silvy in the house. Award-winning show with the #1 spot, look out. It's the Queen Silvy Show, 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 it's the Queen Silvy Show.
Hi, this is Joe Mass. You are listening to the Queen Silvy Show. You are now part of the royalty.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live, it's time for the silky smooth sounds of Smooth Tim and Her Majesty herself, Queen Silvy.
Hey, it is Smooth Tim, and thank you for dropping in with us on another terrific Tuesday on the Queen Silvy Show. It is now my absolute pleasure to bring to you the world's sexiest granny, everybody's favorite comedian, the Queen herself, Queen Silvy.
Yes, it is me, Queen Silvy, on this terrific Tuesday with the multiple award-winning The Queen Silvy Show. How are you doing? And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in this great world today. Smooth, how are you today?
I'm doing terrific on this Tuesday evening, Queen, and how are you doing?
I ain't gonna tell you.
Or not Tuesday evening, Tuesday afternoon.
Okay, I'm supercalifragilistic.
Expialidocious, I
Always,
suppose.
yes.
24/7, 365. Let's get to the point. Queen Silvy, you're just
I know.
simply
Amazing. You don't know how amazing I am. Trust me, I am amazing. But you are amazing, Smooth. You are amazing. Our guests and announcements is also amazing, right?
Absolutely. On today's show, we have the founder and host of Dementia Talk with Pam, available on podcasts all over the place, and she's going to be our guest today. And I think you're going to enjoy that conversation because it affects everybody in some way, shape, fashion, and or form. Our hearts and prayers are going out to the world. Everything that's going on. There's all kinds of things, shootings and wars and economic disasters. And hey, people, as Queen always says,
That's right.
faith over fear. That's
Gotta
right.
believe it.
Okay. Also, if you take a look at the top of the screen, you're going to see scrolling ways to get a hold of Queen Silvy and myself. You can go to www.thequeensylvyshow.com. Go to the contact tab, scroll on down, and give us your email. We can keep in contact with you, and you get on our friends list.
That's right.
All kinds of benefits from that. Yeah. Also, because you are worth it, Foxy 5 Jewelry, sassy, elegant, and affordable jewelry and accessories for you and or that's someone special. That's right. Go ahead and get hold of Monica Wright on Facebook or visit her website at www.foxy5jewelry.com. Another way to keep up with Queen Silvy and myself is to go to our YouTube site. And YouTube, in the search engine rather, just drop in The Queen Silvy Show, and you'll get the result of all three of our shows, as well as other projects that the Queen and I are working on. How about some analytics from last week, Queen? Let me take a look at this. Wow. Australia, Africa, Canada, the Dominican Republic, Ireland, Jamaica, New Zealand, Trinidad, Tobago, the United Kingdom, and the United States.
Woo! Yes. We do appreciate you. In fact, if you're watching this live, I want you to know, Smooth and myself, we love and appreciate you. And if you're watching this later on the archive,
I guess our love is everlasting.
you better believe it. Our love is everlasting. We love and appreciate you on this terrific Tuesday, the Queen Silvy Show. I gotta think which
about
show.
it now.
We
One
are
of the
so
3,
busy.
4 shows.
I'm like, on Sesame Street. No, I'm like on all kind of things right now. But I do want you to know that you have time to be kind and spread the word for someone else to come on in and get some of this super greatness. Super impactful information is what you're going to get today, and it is very, very important. So is my motivational words, very important, in which what I like to do at this moment is I like to share some motivational words from the Queen Silvy Show to you. Always remember people who helped you along the way. Those who are by your side when you needed help. For the strongest people make time to help others even if they're struggling with their own problems. I know we can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. Did you know that? Helping one person might not change the world, we know that, but it can change the world for one person. And those are some motivational words from the Queen Silvy Show to you. True that, make a difference in this world, if you will. I'm going to get these going because I do have some shout outs for some great deserving kings and queens all over the world, like you, Kinsley Patino, Queen Jenna, Queen Ashley, Follette Clark, and Kenneth Rouse. Hey,
shout out to you.
You like my voice? I know, right? Helen Myers, Peace Myers, Corey and Casey Patino, Joan Mercer.
Shout out to you.
That's right. Shout out to Queen Aaliyah, Asia Tay, Maya Camille, and Dejour.
Shout out to you.
Lee Allen Sr., Jonathan Sr., as well as my grandsons, Jonathan Jr., Maury, and Tyron. Hey.
Shout out to you.
That's right. Shout out to LP and Cynthia, Queen Sonia, Kaki, Shanika, Brianna, Alana, and the Precious. Hey.
Shout out to you.
I love my voice. Shout out to you, Kelly and Ryan and the All-American Boys, Matt and Tracy, and the All-American Girls, and Patricia Wilhelm McGiffin. Hey.
Shout out to you.
That's right. Shout out to Pamela Anderson, C. Shorty Franklin. Did I say you, Patricia Wilhelm Magician? Girl, you got it twice. Hello. Renita Easley, Gold, Rosa Donna Ferry, and Pam Bailey. Hey.
Shout out to you.
To my good friends down in Africa, Amy Kanema, Webster Rito, Hostile Flow, Princess Aria Lua, and the Hero Boy.
Shout out to you.
That's right. Robin Taylor, DJ, Team Broke 100. Lorenzo Gabaniza and Christine Lewis Anderson.
Shout out to you.
To my good queens over in United Kingdom, Beth Lambert, Nicola Jones, Bethany Jones, and Kay Cross.
Shout out to you.
That's right. Nana Linda Hartley, Serious Edition. James and Audrey. Queen D. Brown, Sandra, and Ben Johnson.
Shout out to you.
As well as you, my good friend Brian Pearson, Brenda Ramirez, Angela Baker, Miguel Montebon, and the almighty Joe Mass.
Hey, shout out to you.
Shout out to you is right. Hey, if you'd love to be shouted out, if you have someone you would love represented and shouted out, hit me up at queensylviacomic.com. Go to the website, thequeensylvyshow.com, or wherever you're viewing or listening to this, you may leave it in the comment section, and my good man Smooth will make sure we get you taken care of, because we bring the best in live entertainment, talents, topics, and resources. So, Check out this resource. And when we get back, let's get this great, informative information available for you right here on the Queen Silvy Show. The Frida's Cleaning Service is a small family-owned business established in 2003. With over 17 years of professional, high-quality, and greatly satisfied service, the Frida's Cleaning Service will get the job done. Specializing in sanitizing your home, business, post-construction, and commercial cleaning, no job's too big or small. See for yourself and give us a call, 567-249-9172. La Frida's Cleaning Service. Our reputation is always spotless. Hey, welcome back. Hey, listen, you do have time to be kind and spread the word for someone else to come on in and get some of the super greatness and super information we have in store for you. You know, she's on a mission to get Alzheimer's disease and all dementia elevated to a top of the mind awareness status. Here to share her family personal information, important information, and resources to strengthen the fight to end Alzheimer's. Live from Glass City, Toledo, Ohio, I introduce to you Caretaker, Alzheimer's advocate, podcast host of You Are Not Alone-Dementia Talk with Pamela Anderson.
Hey, good afternoon, Queen Silvy and Smooth Tim. How are you doing?
Well, I'm supercalifragilistic.
Hey, welcome to the show.
And I'm honored that you are here on the Queen Silvy Show. You know, you were on the Queen Silvy Show back on August 25th, 2020, along with Cheryl Conley of Memory Lane Care Services. For anyone who would love to get caught up, and I advise you to do that on that great information that we had back then, go to your favorite archives, type in the Queen Silvy Show, and go on down there. And you'll find that there where we discussed a lot of things, including adult daycare for our loved ones as an alternative for the caregiver to give them some time to themselves or time to handle a little bit of business. But Pamela, at that time in 2020 where you were the caregiver for your mom, Lucille Boyd, who had dementia, but your mom has passed on now. When did this occur?
My mom passed on last year, February 16th, 2022. And our journey took about 10 years.
Wow.
I was a mom caregiver for 10 years. I took care of my mom at that amount of time, and I lost my mom. Yes, I did.
Well, you know, even then and since then, the journey and the fight continues. Your mom wasn't the only one in your family affected by this disease. So briefly share with me the personal family history with Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yes, I do have family history that seems to be Alzheimer's. My mom had several family members in her family who had lived with and died from dementia, which in most commonly the Alzheimer's disease. My mom's aunt, her cousins, her couple of her sisters, and my brother is currently living in a memory care facility, and he also has Alzheimer's. So it does seem to be some sort of family history, genetic history referring to the disease of the Alzheimer's.
I know that this hits home, it hits deep in the family, yet you're very caring, passionate with the community as well. But share some of the challenges and your moments of grace that comes with caring for a loved one with Alzheimer's or dementia.
Well, the biggest challenge that I started out with when becoming a caregiver for my mom is the lack of knowledge. You need to know your resources. You need to know your support groups. You need to get as much information as you can about the disease and taking care of a loved one before you get started. You also need to find people that you can learn from. I had a few friends who traveled that journey ahead of me, and so they were good advisors for me. And so the grace came and will come when your loved one will say thank you. And my mom did say thank you to me when I did anything for her. And that's when I saw God. I saw that we were doing the right thing, and he was there and present in our journey.
Amen. I'm very proud of you and what you've done, doing, and the fight that you are definitely making a difference on. I know that Alzheimer's is currently ranked as the 7th leading cause of death in the United States, and African Americans have a high percentage rate of this disease. Am I correct about that?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. There are some statistics that say that older African Americans are twice likely to get Alzheimer's than older white Americans. And this number is more impact, where it says 2/3 of these numbers are African American women.
Wow, that hits home deep, because guess what? I'm an African American. But you know what? You have gained much notoriety in the community and worldwide. You were on the local television channel doing a bit, and it was covering African Americans. So I want to share this here. It is very important information for you. So check this out.
Feelings, including sadness and fear.
Makes sense, doesn't it? The COVID pandemic sparked new conversations about healthcare disparities that certain communities face. Madeline Watkins is finding out that these challenges are also prevalent for Alzheimer's patients.
Black Americans develop dementia, all the different varieties, more than twice as often as white Americans, and Latino Americans also develop dementia more often, about 1.5 times the rate.
The Alzheimer's Association of Northwest Ohio says this has to do with long-term healthcare disparities that exist with people of color or people who live in generational poverty. 2/3 of people with Alzheimer's are women, and one of them is Pamela Anderson's mother.
Several of my mom's first cousins and her aunt, her sister, and my brother is currently in a facility. I'm glad to be there. I'm glad I was chosen to be there, and it's very fulfilling for me to be there for my brother and my mom.
Being a caregiver doesn't come without its challenges, though.
And through the process, I found out how critical it is to have support groups, support systems, not only for the caregiver and for the patient.
In 2020, an estimated 5.8 million Americans were diagnosed with Alzheimer's. This number is projected to nearly triple to 14 million people by 2060. But there's recently been a major breakthrough, a nasal vaccine aimed at preventing and slowing down the disease. A hospital in Boston is starting phase 1 of the clinical trial, something Dr. Mark Gloth from ProMedica says has been a long time coming.
This means that we in our lifetime will see the first survivors, right? We're going to see the first survivors of Alzheimer's dementia. And so it's overwhelming, to the scientific community, but more importantly, it's overwhelming to the families and loved ones of these individuals that have this devastating disease.
He says it could take up to 5 years before the nasal vaccine is available. Reporting in Toledo, Madeline Watkins, WTOL 11.
We're going to...
All right. Well, I'm not going to give you any lottery numbers, but if you know a winning number, throw it to me. Give it to me, baby. But that is very informative and very important information. But, we have Alzheimer's, and there's also dementia, and there's various types of it. But let me show this very short, brief video explaining a little bit about Alzheimer's disease.
The most common form of dementia is Alzheimer's disease. It accounts for roughly 80% of all cases. Impacting 47 million people around the world, its effects range from short-term memory loss to impaired motor skills. A person can typically live with Alzheimer's for over a decade. But what's happening inside the brain? The first sign of Alzheimer's is the accumulation of beta-amyloid plaque. Amyloid are protein fragments the brain can no longer dispose of. As they accumulate, they clump together, eventually forming a hard plaque. These plaques can settle in spaces between the brain's nerve cells, blocking signals and disrupting function, sometimes for up to 20 years before the onset of memory loss. The second hallmark of Alzheimer's is threads of twisted proteins known as tau protein tangles. In a healthy brain, tau proteins help keep the neuron transport networks intact, like the stitching on your t-shirt. In Alzheimer's, these proteins are stripped from their homes, collapsing the neural network. When a person first exhibits memory loss, it's a sign the plaques and tangles have spread to the part of the brain responsible for memory and planning. Soon after, the brain enters a period of widespread inflammation or swelling. Finally, in the most advanced stage of the disease, the brain shrinks significantly due to widespread cell death, resulting in a total loss in the ability to communicate, recognize, or care for oneself.
So, as I said, there are different stages and types of dementia. Explain for me what those are.
Well, the first off, I like to explain how it's explained to me.
Okay.
A dementia is not a disease. You would look at it as you would say, I have some flowers. You want to know what type of flowers do you have? And that's because dementia is a collective source of memory loss, communication, completing tasks, and it's progressive diseases that come together to cause these dysfunctional abilities. Now, there are several different forms of dementia, such as you have a form of Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is the most common. You do have one that's called vascular. And then you have the Lewy body and then the frontotemporal lobe. Now, we'll discuss more so about the Alzheimer's disease because my mom did suffer from the Alzheimer's disease. So that's where, but those are the forms of dementia, the different types of dementias.
Well, sometimes, and I mean just sometimes, you might find a person or a family member that's in denial, or they want to look the other way when dealing with this disease, or the changes amongst themselves or a family member that's going through it. So, there's someone out there confused right now going through something and not sure what they are going through. So what would be some of the indicators or some of the warning signs that something's not the norm?
Well, first of all, memory loss. You pay attention to your loved ones or yourself. You have not just forgetting where you put your keys and then eventually finding them, but you just start eventually losing everything or just what you're going to talk about, think about, or anything. Then you have the challenges. You can't problem solving. You have problems and solving your problems, paying your bills, completing familiar tasks. Then you start having problems communicating. You can't speak your words, choosing your words. You also have a problem with recognizing images. You may start not even recognizing, and this is as it progresses, because it is a progressive disease over the year. It could take up a period of time up to 20 years. Now, you also have their behavior changes. So you start noticing these little behavior changes, little mood changes, and but when you do start noticing changes, you should talk to somebody. You should try to consult a physician to get a diagnosis. And this way you can know, you could get some treatments. Now, there is no cure for Alzheimer's, but with the right diagnosis, there are some meds that can slow up or help out with some of the symptoms of the Alzheimer's disease.
And that is very important indeed. Go see your physician. If you're not sure, it's better to be safe than sorry, and go get it checked out and pass the word around, because someone in your family may be going through this, and get them to be seen. Let's get this going. I hope a cure is here. It's one day soon. I know that the fight is on, and it's there. Everyone is trying. You are a hardworking individual. Over 10 years doing the walk to end Alzheimer's. Over 10 years still making a difference as an Alzheimer's advocate. And even when Mom has passed on, tell me, Pamela, why do you still continue to fight the cause?
As I said, I do it for my family. I do it for my family because of the possibility of the Alzheimer's disease traveling down into my great-grandkids. I have great-grandkids, so I do this. I do it for the cause. And one of my motives, because I do have a history of promotions and advertising and marketing and bringing out the best in any type of product or service. So I incorporate this to create top of mind awareness for the Alzheimer's disease, or when it comes to causes, when it comes to awareness, when it comes to resources. So I have to keep going. I have to keep up because the main thing, the most important thing is the awareness. That holds up everything. If you don't know, then you need to try to find out. So that's the biggest problem. So what I'm doing is to continue to fight so I can generate awareness, generate some funding, and help people find their resources when they find that they're facing this horrific disease.
So, in conjunction with the community, the Alzheimer's Association, you raised funds and brought awareness with variety of events like this first annual Purple Sunday that was recently held at Warren AME Church here in the Toledo, Ohio area. Explain what Purple Sunday is and the purpose for it.
Purple Sunday is an awareness event. Recently, the Alzheimer's Association and the AME Church developed a partnership to generate awareness through the African American community through the AME Church. And this was to make aware of the fact that the older African Americans do get the Alzheimer's disease twice as much as the white Americans. And we had this event, it was awesome. We, the Alzheimer's Association, the Queen Silvy Show, and the Warren AME Church, and You're Not Alone-Dementia Talk presented this presentation of awareness, resources, and a lovely salute and tribute to our loved ones of our congregation who have lived and died from Alzheimer's.
You're absolutely correct. It was magnificent. For the first annual, it was definitely a success. And that video tribute can be found on Pamela Anderson's Facebook group page, You're Not Alone, Dementia Talk with Pamela. You can go there and find it. It is so touching and wonderful. But now, Pam, I also heard, a little birdie told me that upcoming, you're organizing a hat and jury fashion show. Tell me about that.
This is for the longest day. The longest day is June 21st. This is the longest day of the year. It is called the summer solstice. And this is the day that people around the world fight the longest day for the end to Alzheimer's. And this happens how you will create your own fundraising event that you want to generate funds. You can do it in person and you can even do it viral. Now, I'm planning, You're Not Alone, Dementia Talk with Pamela. We are planning a longest day event, and this will be a hat and jewelry fashion show. It's in the process of planning, so we'll get back with you at a later date with the full event. Now, the longest day is something that we do plan to stamp out the darkness of Alzheimer's.
I love it. I'm looking forward to it. Hat and jewelry fashion show, and we're going to keep you posted on that as the process goes on. And when we get a date and set it, we're going to promote this indeed.
By the way, I'm looking for vendors of jewelries and hats. We're still in the planning process and venues. So we're starting this week, matter of fact, to put it together. So get back with me, look at my Facebook page. And if you do have some suggestions and want to be a vendor for our longest day hat and jewelry event, contact me on my Facebook support group page. You're Not Alone, Dementia Talk with Pamela.
That's what's up. Wow. Everyone go and pass the word around, get involved and make a definite difference. Pam, you've been doing this for over a decade with the Walk to End Alzheimer's. I know you have a team that's making a difference, and that means a lot to have a team and have the backing behind such a great cause here. Tell me about your team that you have and how someone can come aboard to, because it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can be a part of this team no matter where you are. If you're in the Northwest Ohio area, you can join in with the Walk to End Alzheimer's, but you can always make a donation. So tell us about your team and how someone can participate, join the team, and make a donation.
Yes, my team is You're Not Alone, Dementia Talk with Pamela, and this I have been walking for several years. So right now, the Walk to End Alzheimer's here in Toledo, Ohio, is going to be October 14th. And we are starting again. You have to rebuild your team every year. So we're in the process of doing fundraising events. We're planning some the recruiting events. And so all this is coming up. Last year, our walk, we did meet our goal. We had a goal of $500. We met and exceeded our goal. And then I had the option and the opportunity last year to represent the promissory garden flower. I represented the yellow flower, which represent that I care for someone, which is my brother, Alzheimer's, and then I also carried the purple flower, which meant I have someone who died from Alzheimer's. Our Alzheimer's event is it like I said, it is coming up. We are starting to do our fundraising events and team Pam. You're Not Alone, Dementia Talk with Pamela and Queen Silvy Show. We are and my team, we do yeah,
we do.
We do the do.
Some days I do.
We do the day do, the night do, the mountain dew.
Yeah, we do the mountain dew. I'm so sorry. I do apologize. What because I get overwhelmed.
That's okay. And
I get excited about the
I blooper all the time.
No, you don't.
You are, yes,
no,
I do.
You never did. Pam, I got a question.
You're fine. Excuse me, but yes, I do get excited about the walks in Alzheimer's and all the events that we do support for the funds because it is exciting and it is worldwide and people do take it very passionate. When you see the walk or attend the walk and do the walk, you see dogs dressed in purple. And it's just overwhelming because it is such a horrific disease and it does affect the majority of older people. Older people, they are very high at risk and it is worldwide.
Yes, it is.
Now, you mentioned about having that ethnicity comes into play. Does sex come into play?
No, it doesn't. It's just most like your risk factor. There's no reason why. So this is why there's no cure because they do not understand why and who gets it because there are so many different people. There's so many different reasons. And then it is, like I said, from all ethnic groups, from all generations, because there is a early onset dementia where you don't have to be old. So there are several different kinds. So while they're still in the process, this is why, and I'm going to extend the fact about the clinical trial studies at this point. It did mention it in the earlier video, but this is one of the things, and it is a personal choice, but clinical trial studies are very important because without the clinical trial studies, we could not have some of these successes, some of these breakthroughs that we are having.
Right.
So this is something that that is important, especially if you have your family history. So you do need to, if you see anything like some of the signs, or you see anything that in your family that you think might be helpful, and you do not have to be ill. You do not have a disease in order to participate in a clinical trial study. But, and you don't have to be a certain age because they are collecting of all ages, all ethnicities and everything else. So you do need to look into if you have any, would like to look into some type of clinical trial studies.
And that's important.
Now they've determined that it is genetics and that there's no environmental reasons why that could be onset to a person? Have they eliminated the environmental issues, or don't you know, Pam?
No, well, I can't say that there is no links to none of this. In my opinion, I would have to say family history is a connection because I'm looking at it.
Right.
But there is no definite answer. There is no definite reason that no one would speak upon to say you're going to get it, your family's going to get it, your granddaughter's going to get it. So there is no found explanation as to what the cause or the reason or who gets the Alzheimer's.
And sometimes you find clusters in diseases. It could be around a certain area. Certain people are getting sick in a certain way. But obviously, if it's genetics, that's not going to play a role whatsoever.
So speaking on that being genetics, Pam, personally, let me ask you, how concerned are you about yourself or your children or grandchildren, knowing that it's within the family? Is there measures or things that you are doing to help protect and make sure for yourself?
Well, there are things that they say that you could do to save your brain, because it is all about your brain. I would say, like I said, a couple of years ago when I was on the show, I did say that there was not a problem. And I could still say that I'm not concerned the fact that I'm going to get it, you're going to get it, or anything like that. But I am concerned that it is going to move down generational in my family, because I'm looking at it.
Well, you are leaving a legacy of great information in that case, and I'm proud of you for that. Smooth, you were saying?
Well, I heard something on TV just the other day, and I found it quite interesting. And in fact, they were talking about Alzheimer's, and they said that musicians are less likely to get Alzheimer's than others, and they think it's because of the creativity that they have to constantly exercise the brain.
Exercise is very important. However you get to exercise your brain, to puzzles, building something, singing music, but there seems to be a connection with music and Alzheimer's and the brain and your memory. And I say this from looking at, I can only validate what I saw.
Right.
And what I saw in my mom, even after she wasn't able to verbally speak, my mom would always hum Amazing Grace in any of her response. Now, I don't know if that had anything to do with the music and the part of her brain or the Alzheimer's, but music. And I heard this from another young lady who mom is journeying through her Alzheimer's, that she sings all the time.
You know what? I want to just share, because I'm honored to have been in the life of your mom and interact with her, that I have this great memory where you had the Motown music on and she was just dancing and, humming and singing her music. And I absolutely loved that. Do you recall that, Pam?
Yes, I do, Mom. Yeah, we have we even videoed of my mom living and singing and dancing with my music. My mom loved to sing and dance. She did enjoy music, and she was a very joyful and she just entertaining person.
I find that so interesting in the relation to music, and I hate to keep going back to that, but Sylvie and Queen and I, when we was down in Texas, we would volunteer to an Alzheimer's facility just to go in there and just to volunteer.
Activities, that's where we were.
Create activities with them, play games, whatever. But when the music came on, it was amazing. These people could remember the words. They might not remember shit else, excuse me, but man,
that song,
it's wow, they remember every word to that song.
Yeah, it's amazing. This disease is not easy. We all need to come together and make a connection. Now, your Facebook group page, You're Not Alone, Dementia Talk with Pamela, for someone just hearing about it, for someone that just finding out about this, what are some of the things that we can find on your page?
My Facebook support group page, again, is called You're Not Alone, Dementia Talk with Pamela, and it is very informative. It is very enlightening. We have some funnies, we have videos, and it talks about all the resources. It talks and share about all the information about the Alzheimer's disease, and much fun and more. So you need to check it out. Because you can go to, I call it the go-to Facebook group page, because it has everything in there for you that you want to know about Alzheimer's and all other dementia.
Okay, so why don't you give some advice or some pointers on what you would want a family or caregiver taking care of a loved one with dementia to know?
what I would like for someone who is taking care of someone with dementia, which, first of all, you are responsible for three things when you're caring for someone who has Alzheimer's or dementia.
Mm-hmm.
And that is to keep them safe, to keep them healthy, and to try to keep them happy, to keep them happy. And that's to the best of your ability. Because like I said, there's really no cure. There's really no stopping the process. So just if you can do your job. And also, it is very devastating being the primary caregiver for someone at an extra long time. So you do need to exercise what they call respite care.
Mm-hmm.
You need to take care of yourself. You need to take time for yourself, because then you're going to get caregiver burnout. You're going to start being frustrated, and it's not going to be a good thing for either the patient or yourself. There are a lot of options. Respite care come in a day. It comes in hours. It could come in a week or even longer. And this is, you have your options of, you can have, go to, like, for example, we spoke about the memory care.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the memory care center when my mom was a little more active in the beginning, 3 days a week. Was respite for me. She got away 3 hours a day, 3 days a week. And I had a little time to handle some business or for myself. As she got homebound, we started getting home health care aides to come into our house. Some of them were private, and then some of them were advised through the Alzheimer's Association. And you can also go to the care.com, and they can advise you. These are some free services that are available to you that can offer some suggestions and some avenues that can help you get some respite care so you can take care of yourself.
Hey.
And so that is important. And if you can, like I said, take care of them and try to keep them safe and healthy and happy, and then look out for yourself.
That's
find
right.
Find your own joy, little space, whatever you need to do.
Hey, I heard the word free in there, girl. You know the word free is leaving this earth, but when you find someone, there's so many places, people, organizations that do provide free information, free help and assistance. It's out there. You just have to go and check and look it up. But, you know, most of the people that's affected with this disease can't even speak for themselves, which is why advocacy is so important. You know, is there any resources on how someone can get involved or maybe go to the state capitol like you have done a couple of times to represent and fight the cause?
Well, yes, as I keep going back to the Alzheimer's Association, that's the best and the first jump off start is to go to the Alzheimer's Association, and they can lead you anywhere. There are other options, as we spoke on, being part of the Walk to End Alzheimer's, and we have volunteers. You can contact the Alzheimer's Association and tell them you want to be a volunteer. You can also, the longest day, just be an advocate, join some fundraisers. You can do your own private fundraisers. You can talk about it. And I will say something important, sharing your story. If you have a story to share your story. Don't be ashamed, because there is a stigma about it. But it should go away. Fight your stigmas, because it does help. When you go, like I went to advocacy that I had the opportunity, and this was my second year, to go to the state, Columbus, Ohio, to the State Advocacy Day. And what the State Advocacy Day is, when you have family members, community people that's involved in Alzheimer's, they go to the state's capital. And they go and speak to legislators and representatives to try to explain to them and ask for help for the resources and funding for certain things that the Alzheimer's caregiver and the Alzheimer's patients that they would need. And such as things as I fought for the first responders. They had a problem with the first responders. When you show up, when you have to maybe call someone to assist you with your family member who's having a problem. They don't know how to handle it. So there has some extensive training. You also have caregiver, respite care. There you need funding. This is all need funding that has to come from the state capital. to be approved. So what I ended up doing, and I was asked from the Alzheimer's Association to attend because of my advocacy to share my stories, and I did this past March, and I shared about awareness because it is all about the awareness. If you don't have the awareness, that's the main thing that we need to do. Is tell people about it, put it in the top of mind awareness. So in order to, and then we will get the better results. We'll get the numbers for the cures, and we will have our first survivor.
Yes, yes, yes. What was it, Smooth?
In fact, after I made that comment, I looked it up real quick, what we were talking about. 2 separate studies reported that musicians are 64% less likely to develop mind cognitive impairment of dementia.
Well, there you are. Get some
so
music,
grab a
guys.
guitar, grab an organ, grab a piano, something.
Get to singing, y'all.
Get 2 sticks and wick them together. I mean,
start singing something, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it has something to do with trying to remember the notes.
Yeah, it's something to it, but hey, it all works, and it all works great. Now, this year, what date is the walk to end Alzheimer's, and again, how they can donate and or join your team?
Okay. The Walk to End Alzheimer's this year is in Toledo, Ohio at Promenade Park, and it is October 14th. And how you can join my team, You're Not Alone-Dementia Talk with Pamela, and you can go to alz.org/walk. And when you go to that, they'll follow the prompts and they'll tell you to sign up for the team member, and you just continue, and then you can donate, or you can sign up and to join my team.
That's what's up. Hey, I advise you guys, please make a difference. Make a donation. If you're in the Northwest Ohio area, join us for this walk. If you're in this area, hey, we have a hat and jewelry fashion show coming up soon this year. We're going to keep you posted on that. Join us in that. If you have any questions, you're not really sure, Pamela Anderson is here for you. Go to her Facebook group page, You're Not Alone, Dementia Talk with Pam. Give her a phone call. Psych. We ain't giving up them digits. But there's plenty of ways that you can get in touch with her. You can also find her every Thursday with the Now You Know show, where she has a podcast segment. Well, tell everybody about that. You've been doing that for like I don't know how long.
We've been doing it a couple of years now, going into our 2nd year.
That's so great.
Yes, it's awesome. It's a 5-minute a podcast and the Now You Know show with Queen Silvy and Smooth Tim. And it is all about, and it is called You're Not Alone, Dementia Talk with Pamela. And it is all about the Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Just like I said, it is a resourceful segment that talks about and show all about the Alzheimer's disease, little tidbits, suggestions, resources, support groups, and just any information. And then sometime, and then we do show and highlight some of our events that we spoke about.
That is so great. You Know show with Queen Silvy and Smooth Tim is every Thursday evening, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do check your time zones, but do join us for that super greatness that we provide on every Thursday with the Now You Know show. Pam, you know what? I really thank you for taking the time, being here, shedding some light, giving some great information. Any resources or well, it's Alzheimer's, is Alzheimer's Association.org, right?
Yes, it is ALZ.org.
ALZ.org. Go there for information. Also, don't forget, pass the word. Go and join the Facebook group page, You're Not Alone, Dementia Talk with Pamela. Join us every Thursday for the fantastic segment, You're Not Alone, Dementia Talk with Pamela. It's so easy. All you have to do is You're Not Alone, Dementia Talk with Pamela, and you will find Pamela Anderson and all the great resources that she provides for you. Is there anything that you want to add before you go?
Well, yes, I would say thank you for listening to me, but there is a last thought I would like to share with someone.
Absolutely.
And this thought is, unless you've experienced a loved one with the Alzheimer's disease, you have no idea how devastating the journey is.
Amen. Amen. And someone like you, you're a strong warrior to continue to go through, to spread the word, to help so many people hats off to you, my queen, because that's what's up. So how can you be followed on social media?
Well, you can follow me on my Facebook support group page. You're Not Alone, Dementia Talk with Pamela. And I do have, you can reach me on my cell phone. It's 419-984-3540.
Say it one more time, Pam.
It is 419-984-3540. And I also can be reached on my email.
Okay.
It is Pamela mkting@gmail.com.
That's what's up. You are reachable worldwide. Yes, you are. And I thank you so much for taking the time being. And of course, we will definitely be in touch with you. Matter of fact, I'm going to see you in a couple of days again we do what we do. But yes, this is important information. It is all there for you, and you. And she's taking a great time to make sure you all know that she is here for you to answer any questions, provide any resources that you really can be helpful for you. So Pam, thank you so very much for being here on the Queen Silvy Show. We'll be back in touch with you.
Okay, then you guys have a good evening.
All right.
You know what? Yeah, I'll tell you what. Anyhow, hey, let's go to our ending video and let's let everybody know that we will see them.
You know, I've been enjoying this whole information. I'm energized just on the information. I want to go out and all up and down my street like Jehovah Witnesses, just passing out information and telling people about Alzheimer's is so fantastic. Please go and join our Facebook group page. You're Not Alone, Dementia Talk with Pamela. Smooth, tell everyone how we can be followed on social media.
You know what I was thinking, though, during that show? I was like, well, that's how I can keep my mind sharp by playing my guitar and
You
stuff.
got so much music on here.
But then again, now I can't use the excuse when I'm sitting there playing and you say, Tim, did you take care of that? And I'm like, I can't tell you I forgot anymore.
You can't forget around me because now I know. What? Dang. So tell everybody how we can be followed on social media.
You can Google us. You can simply Google us. That's the easiest way to, and just pick your favorite platform. We are Googleable. Or look at the top of the screen. You're going to see scrolling at www.thequeensylvyshow.com and or go to YouTube and type in The Queen Silvy Show, and you can find us there too.
Hey, that's what's
How
up.
about that?
Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's show. I hope it was very informative, something that you didn't know, something that you can take and pass along to someone else. That is the point. We aim to bring the best in live entertainment, talents, topics, and resources from around the world just for you. And with that said, you know it's a terrific Tuesday. You know I've been fasting. I had my cup of tea, and now it's time to feed my face. So with that said.
Till next week.
That's
Same
right.
Queen time,
Hey.
same Queen station. Voila.